Four parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. Four parents, 9 kids, I'm queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here. Four parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. Four parents, 9 kids, I'm queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here.
Dave, hand me a beer.
Hi, welcome everybody. Episode 26. That's a 2 and a 6.
Yeah.
No dysfunction here. I don't know why I did that. What are we talking about today? Oh, I remember. How to tell your kids exactly what they should do with their life in a way that they don't argue and they do everything you want them to do. I think that was it.
I have my top 3 fear tactics ready to go.
Okay, see? We
Yeah.
all came prepared.
A little reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Make them think it's
Guilt
their
trips.
idea.
Guilt trips,
Absolutely.
pressure, shame,
Belts.
belts.
Bullying.
That's
Yeah.
right. Jake brings up a good point. You
Yeah,
have to
types.
go physical. Like if
Yeah.
you're gonna get them to do what you want to do, you
Like hold
can't.
their head underwater.
Well,
Waterboarding.
yeah,
Waterboarding.
you're right. Yeah, those are
Prepare
good
'em
things.
for the military.
Okay, maybe not all of that.
Gas
Maybe
chamber.
we're just talking about. Yeah, you're right. That too. But maybe we're just talking about how we best support our kids in figuring out what they want to do with their lives. That
You
feels
say
more.
gas chamber.
That feels more like our
Well,
style.
'cause that's the
That was
military, right?
Next level. Oh, yeah.
It was somebody's military.
Very next level.
Somebody was using that, I think.
I
Yeah.
wasn't in the military, but isn't that something that you do in training?
You
You
do
go
have
in
to
the gas
do like
chamber?
a gas something like they
I think they do
expose
like
you
put you
to
in gas
tear gas.
masks,
Tear gas.
tear gas,
off.
I
right?
don't think it's a
Oh.
Holocaust situation.
Yeah.
An
No.
exercise.
Yeah.
Your brains took it to the next level. That's
Yeah.
what I
You're
meant.
like, oh shit, Tip.
Oh.
I just don't know that I've heard the term gas chamber outside of Nazis before, so that's why my brain went there.
Oh.
We should hang out more
I haven't
often.
discussed it since
Teach you
Auschwitz.
something.
Tim's got uses I didn't know about, so
I got
good.
you, Slade.
That's good to know. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna start crying.
This early?
Don't you give me the
It's that
giggles.
gas chamber.
The tear gas. Oh my god, I've seen a real gas chamber in real life. Did you go to a concentration camp? Not to be a
Yes.
downer.
I've been
That
to-
shit was depressing.
The one in
Yeah.
Washington D.C.
What? There's like,
Yes.
is there
You
a...
The
guys-
Holocaust Museum.
You guys,
Oh,
Tiff knows more
no.
about this country than any of us, is what
I
I'm
went
learning.
to one in Germany.
Oh, a real life one.
What's one in Germany
Oh.
called Dachau?
Dachau,
There's another
me
one called
too.
Auschwitz. I
Auschwitz.
don't think I ever went to that one.
I only went to Dachau.
That's got to be wild.
And it was wild indeed. It was very... You only want to go once just
Yeah.
to really experience the weight and the realness of that. I think it was a really profound experience, but it really affects you. Ooh.
Wowza.
That got serious
It's
real
Yeah,
like
quick.
the
thanks
movie-
a lot, Tiff.
As
Kind of
it
like the
should.
movie Schindler's
As it
List.
should
You don't
have.
really watch it more than once.
You're like, oh, that was so good again.
Anyway.
So yeah.
So
put your
start-
kids
yeah.
in the military.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because of all that.
Yeah. Well, so what do you do? I can honestly say I know many people who chose a career path based on what their parents pressured them to do or based on what their parents actually did in their life. They just kind of followed suit. Is that because of pressure or is that because they just want to? And what is our role in helping navigate those things for our children?
You bring up something that now I'm really curious about. I think it might actually help if we all talk about what our parents were like with us.
Yeah.
Like what their expectations were. And so I'll go first. My parents, this is going to sound bad, but had literal zero expectation of me. Going to school, doing anything, whatever. And I think it was just how they were. I mean, literally, let me make sure I've got this right. I don't think any kid in my family graduated from college, and most didn't even attempt to go. And there was never pressure from my parents about that's what you should do or shouldn't do. And I never wanted to. Like, it was definitely like, no thanks, not interested. But interestingly enough, during school, always a big deal about grades. Like, gotta get good grades, gotta do it. You know, like if I didn't get good grades, I'm getting grounded. If I'm trying to hide my report card in 7th grade that gets shipped in July, and you're just anxious every day waiting to have them see that D+ or whatever. And I never really understood the correlation between the two. They were always like so hardline on you have to do this education, it's so important, whatever. But then when high school was over, they're like, whatever, you know. And I thought
interesting.
that's really interesting. Glad
We're
they were
adult
that
now.
way.
We did our part.
Yeah, exactly. I guess so.
My dad, I was raised by a single dad, and I'm very grateful. He always told us, and this is what I tell my kids, I don't care what grades you get as long as you're trying your best. And I've had that conversation a lot with Anthony this year, is because he has been slacking. You know, he's not trying his best. He's talking and being silly and goofing off and getting distracted. Not a lot, but there have been a few moments where we've had to have those talks. And it's never about the grades, it's about effort. And it's not even about the specific material you're learning, it's about being able to learn information and retain information and, you know, and pay attention and focus and be polite and the things that, I don't know, will get them somewhere beyond the actual curriculum.
I really like that. And I feel like the start of the year, he was very resistant, you know, like when we were trying to, and then it was like that idea of him trying his best and just doing his best. Now, I mean, just earlier we were having a conversation because he's going to miss a couple days of school, and he was like, my grades. Like, you know, like he really, the last few months has been the one, he cares, you know, like he wants to do what he wants to do with it, and it's been great.
But when it came to college, my dad 100% expected us to go to college. Like, so it was kind of the opposite. But we expected that of ourselves. I don't know. I think that because we were poor, enlisted children of a single dad, I felt inferior to the world inherently. And I knew that I wanted to go to college to be somebody or to do something with my life. And my dad definitely always talked about us going to college, and then when we were in high school, he said, if you're going to college, you're gonna have to figure out how to pay for it. I'm not helping you at all, which also stressed me out because I was terrified of debt. So I worked my ass off to get scholarships and get college paid for. But I got scholarships to this fine arts school in New York because I did a lot of acting in high school. And he said, absolutely not. You're not going to that school. You're going to BYU. So even though he wasn't paying for any of it, I felt like I absolutely had to do what he told me I had to do. And I'm glad I went to BYU. The rest is history. We got married and had children and whatever. But I definitely always felt a little bit of like sadness, or I wonder what would have been if I had been allowed to go to the school that I was excited about, you know?
Yeah.
I think one thing about just the overall expectation, I know you said your parents didn't expect you to go to college, but I think it wasn't just, sorry if I skipped you. Where are we going in line?
It's fine.
Yeah.
We can be going by age. It's fine. I'll go ahead.
But I just feel like we were in a generation that came right after like a solid decade or 15 years of everybody that got a college degree. Like, you're pretty much guaranteed an awesome job.
Totally.
Like, and so it wasn't just coming from our parents. If our parents were pushing us, which I don't think mine were, you know, it kind of just like maybe was an unspoken expectation, but I don't think they were actually ever verbal about it. Yeah. But it's just like, okay, this is what everybody's doing. This is how you get a good career, is by going and getting at least a 4-year degree. And just so happened that when we were all getting our degrees, that's when everybody and their mom was getting degrees, and then they didn't mean anything anymore.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And obviously that's not an exaggeration, but a
Generalization.
A generalization.
Bam, we did it together.
You
Love
found
you.
it for me. Thank you.
Good job, guys.
So obviously that's a generalization. People still get good jobs with a college degree, you know, but in the 80s and early 90s, it was like guaranteed, and that's just not a thing anymore.
Yes,
Yeah.
the world has changed.
Very real.
So
Yeah.
true.
So like, I don't think my expectation necessarily was coming directly from my parents, but you know, I cared about good grades and they cared about good grades. They gave me $10 per A, so I always had the goal of getting straight A's because, then I would get $70 or whatever. But I don't know, just all my friends, like everybody, like the plan was just college. College was the plan. It's like I don't know, didn't really feel like there was, even though I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur and knew I wanted to run my own business, I thought the way to learn how to do that properly was to go to school for it.
Yeah.
Turns out all of the business that I really learned was by just getting out there and trying it.
Wow.
But you, baby.
Now it's my turn. I think very much similar to yours. It wasn't an expectation. Like, you had to try. You had to put in the effort. I was probably more of like a B student. So it wasn't straight A's. I wasn't getting C's. But I had to work hard. Like, I had to do the flashcards. I had to, like, memorize shit to know it. But I don't think my parents pushed. But it was a hope that, we're not going to press you to do this. But we really hope you go to college. And all of my friends were going to college. And the only thing that my dad was big on was he's like, I want you to do 2 years out of community college before you go to a 4-year so that you don't fuck up. Everyone's going to go and party and they're going to do this. So let's just do it the right way. And I kind of feel like that's the same way I want to encourage our kids. Like, if you're putting little effort in and you're getting poor grades, we got to change something. We got to step something up. But if you're putting in the effort, then I'm going to stay off your back a little bit.
Yeah. I really like that approach too. Like, I think I can see how with all of us, just like with every other subject we try and talk about, how the way we received this lesson or received the support or help or the drive or the push or the expectation initially is how we kind of like individually took our approach towards kids and whatnot. And just like everything else, it feels like over time but also the four of us together just talking and expressing like, well, I think this is important or that's important. And we kind of all got to a familiar place or a same, what's the word I'm looking for?
Same
On the same page,
perception, yeah.
a little bit.
Opinion.
About, and
Wavelength?
yes! See, we're helping each other out
You guys
today.
are on
That
it
is
today.
right. If
When's
there wasn't
the
a
wedding?
If
Yeah.
there wasn't a camera on you, I'd give you a lap dance right now. I think I just kind of get a sense from all of us when we talk about kids' future that what's important to us is what's important to them. And also, like, I think there is still an aspect of our role as parents that we can kind of tell and see, like, this is important to them, or there's an avoidant factor here, or I just don't want to do it, or whatever it is, and adjusting our support and guidance and advice that way. I just don't think at this point any of the four of us are really parents who are like, this is the way it needs to be and this is what you got to do. We really try to take a different approach, I feel like.
I think we all say the same thing. We want you to be your happiest and healthiest self.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that our generation and the generation before has experienced a very common thing we call the midlife crisis, It's like you get to your 40s or whatever, I don't know, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm not happy, I'm miserable, why am I here? And life is so short and all of these things. And I think a huge contributing factor to that, getting to that moment of misery and anguish, is because you're following a path that you didn't want to be on. It's like, and you get to a point where you're like, what the fuck am I even doing on my mom's path, And so, these kids who are pressured to be doctors or lawyers and get up there and they're promised that this will equal happiness, and then they, and so I think the kind of parenting we're attempting to do, where we work to help our kids figure out their true passion, to really understand what they want and help guide them on that path, I think will eliminate that potential for the midlife crisis of misery. If you literally teach them to love themselves, be the most authentic, healthy, happy they can be, and to follow their intuition, their heart, because as my galactic best friend says, your passion is your purpose. So what brings you joy is meant to be your career, in my opinion. You know?
Yeah.
And so to really cultivate that is important to me.
I like it.
Is it time for a
Nailed
joke?
it.
It's time for Spin the Wheel with
Spin
Tim.
the wheel.
With
Spin
Tiff.
the wheel with Tiff.
Every Monday or
Is it
Friday.
because you made
what
it that
day
you get
is
to
it
spin
now?
it every time?
Jake wants a turn.
I mean, do you want to spin the wheel?
Can we just say a
No, I
special
just wanna
welcome
make
to
sure.
Tiff's sister Angie? We have a studio audience today.
Studio audience.
Welcome to
Sabra.
Angie, a former Marine and a total badass.
Air Force.
Air Force. What? I thought you were a Marine.
I thought you were in a
Air Force is
concentration
even
camp.
cooler because I'm an Air Force bro. Welcome.
Were you in a
Angie.
gas chamber once?
Oh, okay.
Did
Wow.
you have to go
Makes
in a
sense.
thing without a gas mask and see how long you could stay?
Oh, it's me. I have a really good one.
I had to get tased.
That's a lot.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, you guys
I
have
tased
tased
myself
yourselves.
once.
I've never been
On
tased.
I was
purpose?
Or
curious.
pepper sprayed.
Don't tase
Yeah,
me, bro.
Chandler and I
Yeah.
tased ourselves once with my taser.
Wow.
It was probably your taser was probably stronger because mine's like a yeah. Anyway, here's your joke. What do you call a masturbating cow? Masturbating cow. Masturbating cow.
That's not what you call it. She's just trying to hype you up
Utterly
for an
ridiculous.
answer. Oh, that
Really
was good.
You want to tell him, honey?
I think it's beef stroganoff.
Beef stroganoff. Hey!
Hey-o! Hey!
That is pretty good.
Ooh.
My mom used to make beef stroganoff all the time, and
Same.
now I'm
Angie makes it.
now
Now
Really?
you understand why
I
it was
love
so
beef
creative.
stroganoff.
yeah. Now I can't ever eat it again.
You're welcome, everybody.
That's a good one.
I have
And
the
also, sorry
visual.
for being so loud. I watched the last episode. I'm like, I yell, so I'm just a loud person. I need to
Not
move.
so
my-
You're
loud.
passionate.
Sorry.
You're perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Since we're all like, really in there to help support our children, what if your child came home and was like, I know what I want to do for the rest of my life.
I like what if.
I want to become a stripper and make lots of money and live in a mansion and drive a really expensive car. What are you going to say to me?
I'd buy her first pair of heels.
I would tell that furry to go back to school.
Get a real job.
That's right.
What would
No
you tell
offense
your
to
daughter
strippers,
if
it's
she
a
wanted
great
to be a
career
stripper,
path.
honey?
I think stripper / literally any profession that felt like, in my mind, there could be cons. All I would want to do is be like, I feel like these are the pros and these are the cons, and you really got to figure it out for yourself. Like, I don't think that being a stripper is a negative thing. I don't think it should be frowned upon if that's what someone does. I think that in general, I don't know, I kind of feel like you're all probably the same way, but maybe not. I'm so curious to hear your answers. I just think that, like, there's nothing specific ever I have in mind for my children of like, oh, that's what they'd be great at, or that's what they should do, that's what they need. I really just like to hear what do you want to do, or whatever, and just, okay, so that's awesome, that's great. What are you going to do to make it happen? What do you, support in that way? I think that for sure you have concerns if your child's like, I want to be a stripper. What does that mean? There's probably a lot there to unpack. But the act of trying to unpack it all for them and explain to them why you feel like that would be a bad idea, or not just explain why it might be a bad idea, but literally tell them like, no, that's terrible, don't do it. There's a process they need to go through to figure out, why do I want to be a stripper? What's in my life? And maybe they need to be a stripper for 9 months to figure out, wow, that's not what I needed. Like, I can now see what's going on here and I want something different.
Well, now I feel bad for shutting down all your stripper dreams. I'm sorry, babe.
No, don't feel bad because I did apply. Turns out they want me. So Wednesdays, Fridays, 10 to 2, down at Crazy
Luckies.
Girls.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm the only
Do you
guy.
have to wear like a wig?
No, I'm the only guy. They want me to just.
He can rock a jockstrap, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've been
Yeah.
I've been in the jockstrap more times than I can count.
That's
and that's
actually
a true
true.
story.
I have a lot of gay friends.
And
so
not
we,
like-
we go to gay parties.
Do you,
and
wait, I feel like we might need to explain. Do you know what a jockstrap is? That's not PE related, like sports.
Oh no.
They're nice.
They're literally like fashionable, super tiny as fuck underwear.
Like a speedo?
No, it's
tinier.
assless. It's just a
It's
strap
like
and then a
yeah, it's like
And they're fashionable.
it's like more of a
Honey,
jockstrap
just go
than
put
an
it on.
actual.
Put it on.
Oh, yeah.
Fashion show.
I'll be back.
Fashion show at
Fashion
lunch.
show at lunch.
I'm glad we're not drinking on this episode because I would have gone to put it on 100%.
Oh God, it's been a while since we've been to one of those parties.
Yeah, that's for sure.
A few
So they're
years.
called jock straps?
Yeah.
And it literally is just like a string and your junk's in a pouch.
Yeah, it's hot.
How do you guys feel about that?
Sounds like, I don't know, hairy.
What? No, you shave first. Okay, Jake. So,
Some
Sounds-
people like
just kidding. Some
hairy.
people are hairy. It's
Yeah,
totally true.
there's plenty of bears
Sounds
in the
like
party.
there might be a scrotum involved. Like, I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
not interested.
no, it's there. It's there. I've definitely worn them and not had my butt shaved. Yeah, that's a real
Yes.
thing.
Oh my God! Speaking of our friends,
I'm way too
that
comfortable with
we
myself,
partied
I'm
with,
realizing.
we went to a party at their house a few days ago, actually, but it wasn't that kind of a party. It was a more fancy party.
That was a real party.
And they were so obsessed with his outfit because he wore a sweater and it was like 80 degrees. And
So-
our friends, my friends,
They all wear the-
cannot
yeah.
let the fashion go. And I told you, because I reminded Christopher, I was like, I know, I showed up to your house once and you're like, this is not a pajama party.
Right.
And I was like, bitch.
I knew it was coming too.
And they would not let it go again and again and again, bringing it. Why are you wearing? And then the next day, oh, it looks like you're wearing spring
Yeah, it looks like you
clothes
warmed
now.
up today. And I was like, yeah. I told him, I
was
said,
so funny.
I know that this party starts at 3 o'clock and it is hot, but then it's going to be 8 o'clock and I'm going to be cold because I'm from Phoenix
Straight men are
and
practical.
you are not, and it's cold here. And
I get that.
Yeah, but I did get made fun of it behind my back all night, which I knew was coming,
It
and I
was so funny.
do not care.
It's all love.
I should
Yeah.
have been there because I would have been way less fashionable than you. Would have taken so
No,
many
you would have
off.
been good. They were all in shorts and a shirt. Like, you would have been great. You
They
had
would
the
judge
outfit.
your ball cap,
Oh
probably.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
if
you
would
were
have
wearing
shown
a ball cap.
I did make the decision to go ball capless
Oh.
because I knew that would be too far for them. I don't want to traumatize anybody at their own party.
It's funny.
I'm sure it was
Culture.
appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were sad you guys couldn't make it. That was a bummer. We were supposed to take a road trip with all 4 parents.
It's okay. What are you doing this weekend?
Yeah, let's go.
Working.
Yeah, I don't think that, I don't think that I would just judge the shit out of a kid and say, like, no, you can't be a stripper, like, shame on you, blah, blah, blah. But just like any other career, to include joining the military, like, I would want to discuss all the potential dangers that I could possibly come up with, you know? Like, the boss of the stripper trying to score with you, or demanding to score with you, or lonely walks back to your car at 2 o'clock in the morning after the club closes, you know. You better have a gun and you better have mace, like
Yeah. Are we talking about the military or stripping?
all of it, yeah,
Both.
all of it.
Because I was thinking with strippers, you
I
gotta avoid
thought it
those
was the
gas
same
chambers.
job, honestly.
Yeah, it could be.
I think
Pretty
the
much.
important thing is like knowing why she or he wants to become the stripper, because like in their mindset, she's like, I want a mansion, I want a car. So like the mindset is like, I'm going to make all this money. So there aren't any cons to the mindset going in. So like, as you guys said, it's important to like know, like, what are the pros and cons? Like, why do you want to do this? What research? Like, who do you know? And that's just conversations I think we would have with our kids.
And
in
if
many categories.
If they say it's because I think I have a beautiful face and a beautiful body and I think I'll make a lot of money, is that a bad thing?
Become a drug rep and sell pharmaceuticals at doctors' offices.
I feel like one of the things that makes us such a good team is that we're so different in the way that we see it. So like I would appreciate that Jake would be over here being like, what are the dangers and da da da, and I would definitely feel like my role is to really just support and encourage and to pick outfits and whatever, and then talk. Like, to me, the most important thing is my relationship with my child, not trying to control what they do, but being there when they fall, being there when they need help, being there for advice, being there for support, whatever they choose. If we're talking about an adult child, you know, for me, it's like, it's all about cultivating a relationship where you are present no matter what, because they're on their path and their journey, and we're not supposed to protect them from all the bad things. And that's the hardest thing I've learned as a parent, is to not protect my children so much, because they need to struggle. They need to go through these hard things. We have been watching our children go through some really difficult things within their relationships lately. And you just want to like jump in and control it and fix it. And you have to just allow them to walk through heartbreak so that they can, you know, it's the same thing with the career path, in my opinion, is teach them to love themselves, teach them to respect themselves, teach them to ask the important questions. Why am I doing this? You know, be cultivating all of that no matter what their career path is. Mm-hmm. And then when something doesn't work out, that's okay. They're supported, they're loved, they're, you know.
For sure. I like it.
Me too. I think everything you're saying about the difference in parents too, and those different perspectives, it really does, like, there are things that we don't think about that the other parent might, or, you know, other set of parents, or one other parent, or sometimes three of us are like, oh yeah, we're kind of all on the same page about whatever, and another parent says like, well, what about this? Or, you know, it's really helpful.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Agreed.
Maybe we should add another parent or two.
Yeah.
We could each become thruples.
I have jealousy issues. We were talking recently about how I would even probably get jealous of AI if AJ started developing a relationship with his AI that I felt left out of. I'd be like, I'll murder your phone. So
And I appreciate that. That's the kind of love I need in my life.
I'm possessive.
I'm good with it. I love it. I want you to be possessive and knock the AI right out of my hand.
I will cut a bitch.
Yeah.
So 4 opinions is good enough, is what
Yeah.
you guys are saying.
That's, well, for us.
Yeah.
I would support another sister wife if I didn't have to deal with them in my house.
No.
Why does it
So
gotta be a
Tiff?
woman?
No.
Tiff's not in. Yeah, it could be a man.
That's really true. A handyman, another
Oh, a pool
handyman,
boy.
a pool boy.
Yeah,
Handsy man?
she's
A handsy
she's super jealous. I'm like, let's get the shirtless dude around the house to like fix shit. You know, then I don't have to do it. Whatever. He can have a shirt on. It's fine. I'm just saying, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think Tiff's pretty similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd want a
I think we-
shirtless man around the house.
Well, when we just first started dating, we kind of went on a double date with another couple and just kind of just put feelers out there, being flirty with the other, and like, yeah, by the end of the night, she was ready to cut all of us, I think.
Yeah, but that's because
He was.
Yeah, it wasn't fair. Cause
No,
she was
'cause she was
cute and he
hot.
wasn't.
I would have went for her.
We've went on dates with like another girl. We have explored that kind of thing, but I'm just like, that was another season. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over sharing. I am.
Young and figuring your life out.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I feel like I've lived 5 lifetimes in one lifetime.
For real.
It's crazy. Oh, I love you guys.
I do too. But before we conclude,
Ooh.
we have the question.
I don't do that well.
I think you did great. I try to sound like you, so.
Ooh, fun.
So
Okay, the intimacy box.
I know, but it's not. We won't pull the sex color.
Okay.
Why?
So who's gonna answer, or do you want to ask since I spun? Okay.
Here we go. Drum roll. There it is.
It's all yellow.
Yay.
Oh well, that doesn't make any sense. It says, "Who do you think the disciplinarian will be between us if and when we have children?"
No, I would actually love the two of you to answer that.
next one.
He looked like he was about to answer it.
These are so dumb.
Who is supposed to answer this question
I
once
don't
you
know.
finally pick one?
It might not have intended 3 parents to be answering.
These are just terrible.
They are. Oh, I like this one. Which personal accomplishment are you most proud of and why?
Oh, that's a good one for Jake.
My family.
Aww.
They're all incredible human beings in their own way, and they just make me smile so big. My biggest accomplishment.
I like it.
That's
What
beautiful.
a good one.
Want to hear the real one?
Yes, please.
Honestly, if I may, it is a huge accomplishment. You're such a good dad and such a good head of our family. We're all
Truth.
heads of the family, but you are such a really important person in all of our lives, and these kids feel loved and supported and guided by you and your strength and support. So I just agree.
Thank you.
Ditto.
Me too.
Thank you. I love you guys so much.
I love you too.
You.
Now it's time for lap
Go
dance.
put on that G-string.
Get it.
Next
Get
time.
it.
Next time it'll be real.
Where's the jock strap,
Yeah,
bro?
that was just okay.
I'll get the truly ready for you.
The truly unruly.
I'll need
It
it
has been a while since
Unruly
we drank
truly.
on an episode. Maybe it's time.
next week.
Lap dances and shots.
We just open with it's like a cold open of me and a jock strap giving Jake a lap
Yeah.
dance. No
Cold
context.
open.
No context.
No dysfunction.
We start zoomed in, like on his neck, and it slowly zooms out, and my scruff is just like right along his cheek.
Scruff against scruff.
Like Velcro.
I can hardly wait.
Well, you'll have that to look forward to. You're welcome.
What are we talking about next time?
Oh, how to...
Ooh.
Train your dragon.
I was gonna say that. That's wild.
Wow.
It could be.
Yeah.
But who makes the deciding factor on kids' extracurricular activities, piercings, tattoos, curfews?
I, for one, would never allow one of my children to get a tattoo. I just think that's
Not under the age of
absolutely
18.
inappropriate.
That's
Definitely
too far.
not
Nope.
under the age of 18.
I would
Tattoos
never
are
allow.
nasty.
I would never
Whoopsie.
allow any extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Period.
just
We're
ridiculous.
keeping it safe.
Yeah.
Bubble.
Yeah.
None of that.
All right. Well, that'll be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll bring the tattoo gun. Do a live.
And shots.
Oh,
and
that'd be
jock
fun.
straps.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Hey,
should do a
perfect.
tattoo sometime.
Yeah,
That'd
that'd be
great.
fun.
You guys are amazing. Thanks for watching.
Thanks,
Like, subscribe,
everybody.
comment.
Bye.
Bye.
4 parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. 4 parents, 9 kids, some queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here. 4 parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. 4 parents, 9 kids, some queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here.
Dave, hand me a